Welcome to the Jesse Rucinski show. Today, I'm going to talk about a bunch of idiots. I realize this should surprise absolutely no one that I'm going to talk about a bunch of idiots. But stupid people like to talk and say stupid things like they're super educated on everything. And I've never claimed to be educated on everything. I just, do enough research and have enough knowledge on a lot of things, and I actually go and read about everything before I go and open my suck hole, like, bunch of the, useless rubes that run around and feel free to just throw out whatever they want about whoever they want in whatever situation they want, regardless of it's true, because then they can just move on to the next thing that they're going to freak out about, and everyone's going to forget about the other thing. It's happened a lot during the whole entire Kyle Rittenhouse case since that night in Kenosha last year, when all hell was breaking loose. Media, LeBron James, big ones. Hell, even the president, the current president of the United States, without meeting him or knowing anything, said that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist, a racist, and all those other things. And Kamala went and visited Jacob Blake, who his shooting is what started all of it, and called him a hero, but called this kid defending himself. Literally, if you see the videos and listen to all the testimony so far, he was defending himself. Calling him a white supremacist and a racist, which is why we are where we are, because there's so many idiots out there. Like, Drew, I'm sure we all keep hearing his, tired of hearing his name, but I mean, people like him. It's a whole entire class of just stupid people that just buy into all of it. Yeah, he's a white supremacist and a racist. That's why he did it. That's why cops do all of this. Like, and they just keep pushing it and pushing and pushing. And more idiots prove how dumb they really are buying into it all, which is why we are where we are right now as a country anyway, because apparently free thinking and actually using your damn brain inside your head, having a lick of common sense, or just, I don't know, doing what we did forever, not just judging something off of one thing in the words of people and wait until, facts actually come out. Not go and make everyone's mind up for them by spewing a bunch of stuff that is garbage. And then, like, act surprised when all hell breaks loose when they don't get what they want. I can't believe any. I mean, the people are that dumb. I can believe that they'd be doing it. And the real bad part is, though, I mean, remember Nicholas Sandman? I covered him already. He was the one that, in the MAGA hat with all the Indians up there, dancing in their face, and Native Americans. Whatever the guy's name was, down there somewhere, but claiming that he was the big bad white supremacist, even though if you see the whole video, he was claiming PTSD and all kinds of stuff. The Native American guy. You see the video of them coming up and getting in his face and doing all that, and he's winning all kinds of slander and defamation stuff against like CNN and all them. For going out and calling them white supremacists, this, that, and the other thing. And somehow apparently they haven't learned the damn lesson, because here we are. And it's still happening right now. Just with this, like, they keep moving on and no one seems to give a shit. Like, they do all this bad coverage, they move on. None of the libs, care, because they don't see the redaction, because they've moved on to the next crazy thing. Guess what? If it was really as bad as they made it out to be and all that, it wouldn't go away, and they wouldn't move on to the next thing 14 seconds later, because there'd actually be like all kinds of crazy like cases and stuff going on about this stuff. But lots of just stupid shit coming out of people's mouths, and just mind altering to me. But I do have to give Steven Crowder credit for, especially for putting it on Twitter, because, well, it's Crowder. We know how much Twitter loves people on the right, especially, people like him. But tweeting, if you accuse Kyle Rittenhouse of faking tears from being forced to relive the trauma of having to shoot violent armed child rapists and arsonists, but claim PTSD from being called the wrong pronouns, you might be an asshole. And I don't want to, go and exacerbate the situation, but if you're claiming PTSD for that and ripping this kid, not just you might be one, you're an asshole. Me and all the people that have PTSD from real things, like the violent act like this, that could cause it, And we have people like Demi Lovato going off about how we're hurting aliens' feelings by calling them aliens. She went on that tirade about fat-free options at the thing, triggering her, like people with their pronouns, like all that. Like, actually do something with your life that involved, like, if that terrifies you and freaks you out, like Jesus wept. What this kid went through would literally kill you. But I'll get into a bunch of the dumb stuff that people have said because, we all know there's plenty of it. It's always there. They don't know how to shut the hell up. We all know it. But TV writer Brian Behar, probably related to Joy, apparently the judge in the Rittenhouse case has Lee Greenwood as his ringtone. That's literally the MAGA national anthem. Can't we just jump ahead to the appeal? Believe it or not, there's millions of people that love that song. Don't have to immediately go to, find the one thing you can to make bias out of everything just to make it fit your agenda of stupid. But they do, and people like bite into it. Progressive commentator Lindy Lee claimed Judge Schroeder's ringtone is Trump's theme song and accused the judge of performing for the Fox News lemmings. Sweet lady. Here's the whole thing. Tweeted, it was Trump's theme song which played every time he was on stage. I kid you not. The same judge who just aggressively yelled at the prosecutor prohibited him from calling the victims and is acting like Kyle's defense lawyer, later saying he attacks CNN in court and constantly interferes with Rittenhouse's cross-examination, playing defense for the murderer. Schroeder doesn't seem to care about maintaining a veneer of fairness. He's outright performing for the Fox News lemmings. There was the whole thing. Let's see. One, if you actually watched it and you actually have the ability to critically think, let's say, or use your brain, or have any kind of experience in anything, they weren't victims. Like, he was running before anyone got shot, trying to get away from them. If you see the video, they come up behind him, try to knock his hat off, put him to the ground, try to steal his weapon. You see dude trying to stomp his skull into the asphalt, and another person pointing a gun at him right behind him. And that's when people started getting, shot. You're not a victim right there. You're full-fledged, assaulting the kid. You have deadly weapon, a gun right there pointing at his head. So you're not a victim. You're an asshole. If you don't see that, you're also an asshole. Literally, there's the video footage of it all. Them trying to put his head into the ground, back of his head right, and they're trying to steal his thing, chasing him down the road. He's trying to run away, pointing guns at him. I'm sorry, they're not victims at that point. I don't care who you are. If you think they are, you're really a plague, on the whole entire planet. And we're going to get into, maintaining a veneer of fairness, they're trying to present things in front of the jury that have already been, dubbed during pretrial motions and hearings and all that it's not allowed to be admissible. They're not allowed to do it. They're going after him for things in front of, the judge, which, after he got arrested, all the silence, not like that. You have the right to do that. They're trying to throw every stupid little thing they can out there. And the judge is going, no, sorry. What? You know the law. You know how long this has been happening. You're not allowed to say that in front of the jury. Why? Because it could skew them, even though it's shit and you know it, because that's been the law for forever. So he's calling the lawyers out and telling them to, maintain the line of everything that was agreed upon during pretrial motions and all that happened. Just how about you just keep using your brain? I'm sorry, you guys had the hearings, you had all that. You might not like it, but it's not allowed to be said. Then get the jury out of there because it's inadmissible and it could skew them and all of that. So actually stick to everything that you went over, and there's laws and stuff in place. Stop just going and saying this stuff just to get a reaction from the jury, because by doing that, that makes you an asshole. And it gets into, like I was saying, here's the judge. I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to. That was the judge right there. We went over this, and this has been the law for forever. So I don't know why the hell you're even bringing it up in front of them. But yet they were, which is why he asked him to get the hell out of there. And he was telling him to stop because They're just trying to throw anything out there because they know they're screwed. And I don't know if they're trying for a mistrial, but like no matter what, like they're trying to make the judge look bad because they absolutely suck. And they're bringing up all kinds of stuff that they're not supposed to. That doesn't fall on the kid or the judge. Maybe the prosecutors, I don't know, do their damn job. Really, the kid shouldn't even be here. If you watch the videos, defending himself by Wisconsin law, he actually didn't do anything wrong by their self-defense statute. But then back to celebrities, Rosanna Arquette, Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. The end. Dave Bautista, poor soul. You should shut up before everyone hates him too. Exact quote, fuck that kid. There's a good one. Actor Kevin Zegers, never heard of him, but this is how the first take of a crying scene can look. Weeks of anxiety to push the tears out, and you come up empty. Top Chef host Padma Lakshmi. Time for America to redefine what it means to be a promising young man. Vincent D'Onofrio, sadly left the guy, but I guess I have to hate him now. No more Gomer Pyle jokes. And a since deleted tweet. Personally, I've never seen acting like that from you, but yes, some less experienced actors. George Takei slamming the judge, saying, if you want to see how justice often leans hard towards privilege, watch the judge in the Rittenhouse case. A deplorable example indeed, because he's following the law and all the pre-trial hearings and motions they did. LeBron, I didn't see one, man. Knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court. But all those people, saying it was bad acting and all that. Everyone cries differently. I've been known to completely break down and not throw a single tear out. Sorry, like the special, like all these uneducated, like just dumbasses, like how just like OJ got off, like Snoop, like all these people have gotten off, like that are in the privileged area of, the black community. And last time I checked, no matter like all the things, after George Floyd, even though he had 4 times the lethal dose of fentanyl or whatever it was in his system, held a gun to a pregnant lady's baby, all of his criminal record, they still made him out to be a hero. Granted, he was murdered. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. Everyone that saw that last year knows that was murder. Duh. But they made him out to be like this grand hero. Like, and he was like terrible. Look at all like his funeral all over the place and all that. I mean, like, I just don't. Jacob Blake, I mean, president now and vice president, when shook his hand, met with his family, said he was a hero. When, look at his beautiful track record, but we'll get into that. But LeBron, though, I forget, everyone remember last year with the shooting of, I know I have to have her name here somewhere. Was it Ma'Khia? Yeah, Ma'Khia Bryant, when she was attempting to stab another person after injuring one more. So she saved a young black woman. She got shot by a police officer who saved another young black person's life. And the caption read above, the tweeted, LeBron tweeted out picture with the caption, "You're next," an hourglass emoji, and the hashtag accountability. It was a clean kill. She was going to stab someone else. She was already injuring people. She wasn't listening to the cops, and she was literally going like full in ready to stab. Yeah, would have been another victim instead of jumping on there and thank for doing his job and saving that person's life. LeBron goes and puts a caption and says, "You're next," and a picture of the cop with an hourglass. Like, I'm sorry, those are bad things that you don't do, especially when you use cops to do security and give you close down traffic to escort you to like Jay-Z concerts and stuff. Like, it's cool that you can use them when you need them, but otherwise you're just trying to be a lemmer. And I do want to know if they figured out who put all those racial slurs on his gates of his house there in the LA area, because they have cameras and all that. But him talking about he ate lemon heads, it's all fake tears, like coming from the guy that takes all those dives, cries all the damn time to referees. I mean, we all see the pictures. And literally at one point, because he was having cramps, was crying and had to get carried off of the court by 4 other grown-ass men. So pretty please, like there's some people that have been blown up in combat with their arm dangling by like, a piece of skin. And I continued to fire back and kept going. You had a cramp and had to get carried off the thing crying. Like, please, for the love of God, get over yourself. Stop spreading all this shit. Because all you're doing with this great platform you have is just setting up everyone for failure that listens to you by making them believe all this bullshit. Work hard. Don't be an idiot. You can get out of a shithole like LeBron did and many others. So everyone's racist. It's all racist. Like he's faking it. Like, unless you actually know anything, you've ever done any time military wise, anything, just shut the fuck up. I try not to cuss a lot, but for the love of God, just shut up. Because you sound stupid. And you all just sound literally like a bunch of clowns. That's all you are, because you have no experience. You don't know the laws. You don't know anything. And you cry because someone uses the wrong pronouns or because you have a cramp and you need to be carried while all of us have cramps every day and we keep functioning. And you're telling people how to look. Shut up. All you do is spread divisiveness and stupid that actually isn't true. Let's not even get into this. They keep doing this. Like the prosecutor star witness at one point while he was being cross-examined, while he was testifying like under oath that Rittenhouse didn't fire until he pointed his weapon at him, which ergo is self-defense. And it doesn't matter how stupid you are, what you want to feel like, it's self-defense. He didn't shoot at anybody until he pointed a gun at his head. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're getting shot then. You're welcome, America. I'm not trying to even be a dick. Like, that's literally his testimony that Rittenhouse did not fire at him until he pointed his weapon at him. It's not making everything about race. That's all they do. I mean, like, and you can see him getting chased and all that, but they keep pulling the race card. And now we're getting on to, Mr. Rosenbaum, the prosecutor said, Mr. Rosenbaum started fires that night. Well, that has nothing to do with the allegations that he chased after Mr. Rittenhouse and tried to physically attack him. Arsonist or alleged arson has nothing to do with alleged physical assault. There's an allegation that Mr. Rosenbaum was shouting racial slurs. That has nothing to do with physical assault. There's an allegation that he's telling people at a gas station to shoot him, which really is different than what was going on with Mr. Rittenhouse. He clearly didn't want Mr. Rittenhouse to shoot him. So I don't see that there's any commonality there. So this is bad character evidence, Your Honor. This is an attempt to tell the jury Mr. Rosenbaum was a bad guy and he deserved to die. That's really what it is. He was an arsonist. He was a rioter. He was starting fights. Well, not starting fights. He was starting problems. He's disorderly. He was loud, whatever. Therefore, it is okay for the defendant to kill him. That's really what's going on here, Your Honor. And really, that's not a character witness and all this to describe what was going on that night that they keep calling just a racial justice protest, where he's starting fires, fights, problems, chasing down people, like trying to steal the weapon, stomping people. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you say you're going to admit that he did all this bad stuff and he was yelling, screaming, starting all this stuff, which, help actually make more sense of Mr. Rittenhouse's response to all hell breaking loose around him and them trying to get him. Like, I'm sorry, but they need to know what was going on that night, which what could have helped lead to all of this. Like, if he wasn't acting like a complete schmuck, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe, even though he was, sexually molested by his stepfather on a daily basis, while he was a teen, which I'm not taking that away. Like, there's people that, you either go on the good way or the bad way after those things, but 29 at the age of 19, 2002, Rosenbaum was sentenced to prison for 15 years for sexually abusing 5 boys between the ages of 9 and 11 back in 2002. Again, he molested, showed porn to him, performed oral sex on the boys. So, can we please, like, when people say that he's that, like, yes, he actually was. So can we stop making a hero out of literally a guy that did that and then was out there lighting fires and starting fights, tried to stomp a kid's brain into the asphalt and tried to steal his weapon? And like, I'm sorry, yelling racial slurs and telling people to kill him, like your own judges, like lawyers admitting it. Like, sorry, guy, but and even with all that they even admitted they're out, media still out there calling him a victim and it was a racial justice protest. Like, I just really want to know, like, again, was we're on the topic and they keep calling it, and they have been for forever, like, fiery but mostly peaceful, like all of that stuff the media has been spewing during, including this. Like, can someone enlighten me what kind of like racial justice protest, like buildings have to get covered in plywood where people are beating on them with bats trying to get through, and all kinds of other stuff? The kind of racial justice protest has, people looting stores, burning buildings to the ground, doing all the damage they did to all those used car lots and Kenosha, jumping up on them, just smashing their windshields in and doing all that. People have weapons. People are getting injured. People are dying. Like, what the hell kind of, I mean, I'm obviously not the smartest guy in the world, but what kind of racial justice protest, you know, has all of those things happening? Because that's not a protest, that's a full-fledged riot, and they should all be charged with doing it, the criminals that they are. But he gets made out to be good after doing all of that, and they keep he was like Jacob Blake, like that's what it was all about. Was there somewhere he wasn't supposed to be? Sex crimes alleged from the woman who was, who was there with, resisted arrest, and legit tried to, was walking back to his car where there was a weapon underneath the seat trying to get to him, and somehow again Joe and them show up there and tell him that he's a hero, and they call Rittenhouse the white supremacist, like, for everything that happened that night. Well, there's clear video and all evidence that they were assaulting him, pointed a gun at him, all kinds of stuff. Well, he tried to run away so that nothing would happen. Like, and all these idiots out there still like listen to it. I hope he sues the bastards, but that's just me. Like slander, defamation, like all this stuff, because it was all there. They just didn't give a damn. This made him out to be the worst thing ever and made the criminal who was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, not listening to the police, tried to reach for a weapon, like all that stuff. Don't do any of those things. Bad things don't happen to you. Crazy thought. I know, a little self-accountability could resolve a lot of stupid issues. But hopefully he sues everyone, just like, Nicholas Sandman is, because they're not going to learn. They're going to keep doing it. So sue the bastards. Sooner or later, they'll figure out they should stop. And that's because they'll be out of business. They won't have any more money. The amount of shit they have spewed about all this. Leslie Marshall, when she was on air asking, why did he need to have a magazine with 30 rounds in it? I don't know why the hell was, all summer, all these Democratic mayors have for, not letting president send in the National Guard to stop it for so long, letting cities burn to the ground. Like, people weren't, destroying car lots, lighting things on fire, attacking people, shooting people, Molotov cocktails, all hell was breaking loose. People wouldn't, feel the need that they needed to have a fully loaded weapon with them. People were actually doing something about it. And look at all the cities. There's a convenience on who runs, almost all of them. St. Louis, Chicago, Kenosha, Minneapolis, New York City, when it was all happening there, like Seattle, Portland, and California, when they were having all their stuff during, like, they're all run by one party. Like, it's amazing. Truly, truly is. And again, like I said, that might be really to Joy Behar. Her and all of her cronies also played into it, and all pulled the race card, did all of that. Like if they just did their jobs and stopped just immediately playing into the narrative and calling everyone white supremacist, racism, like everything else that they're throwing out there, like if they that this wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't have been as bad last year. It wouldn't be as bad now. But they just keep spreading it and spewing it, even though you see the results of it. They keep doing it more and more, and all they're doing by saying the person's guilty as a white supremacist is when he legitimately, gets off because, self-defense, like, you're setting up for more destruction and death and fire and everything. Like, they just keep spewing this shit, and they have their videos all over the place. It's funny how Facebook and all them talking about misinformation, Google, YouTube, Twitter, like all of them, but these guys get to spread whatever the hell they want about people being white supremacist, racist. FCC is letting CNN cover all this stuff. ABC, like all of them, get to keep spewing all of this stuff, which has no base, which has no fact behind any of it. It is all bullshit, which is why they're going to move on. He's going to get off, and all hell's going to break loose. But they get to keep saying whatever the hell they want, and they get away with it. That's my problem with it. I've had videos get yelled at for misinformation, even though I was quoting the president, but yet these guys can keep saying all of this stuff, which has been completely factually, disproven to be garbage that it is. And they get to stay on air and keep spreading their stuff all over social media. Like, if we actually, someone have the balls to actually hold all these people accountable and make them actually go back to doing their damn job, stating the facts, and let you make up your mind on your own, instead of making just tens of millions of idiots that can't critically think or use their own damn brains, we'd be in a lot better place right now. But he gets off, which he's going to, I have a feeling, I'm not a genius, but I got one of those feelings he's going to get off. because it's clear cut, like by their law, by everything. No matter what you want to say about the judge or by the self-defense, like, sorry, the videos were there the whole time and everyone just disregarded them altogether. And there's videos and everything about Jacob Blake and everything that happened there, but they called him a hero. And then the same people that are running the country now calling him, Kyle Rittenhouse, racist, white supremacist, all of this, Joy Behar, all these celebrities, everyone, they are causing this giant problem. That's why we are a powder keg still, because they do not know how to stop. They do not. When they got power now, they're still pushing it even harder. It's going to cause destruction and very bad things, and none of them give a shit, which is really my biggest problem. Which is why this keeps getting worse. It's not getting better. But people say they think race relations are even worse since these guys took over the White House and the Democrats got all that. Like, it is terrible. They aren't doing anything to try to help it. And like, look at all the people I just named off, and there's so many more. I just didn't want to sit here and quote people all day. Like, it's pathetic. And we're even like having to have this conversation, because I thought we were better than that as a country. Sad to say we aren't, but I just wish people would hold all these people accountable for their bullshit too, because I've been yelled at. And this kid's getting slammed when you see all the facts and everything. Like, in that situation, who wouldn't? Why would it be not be? Did you see all the cars and the fires and everything? Like, why wouldn't you be loaded? Like, the cops aren't doing anything. They're not sending National Guard to stop anything. But let's go and make him the criminal, not the person that chased him down, attacked him, tried to stomp his head into the ground, steal his weapon. The other guy pointed a weapon at his head. But no, somehow he's the bad guy, not the people lighting fires and attacking him. Yeah. You keep doing your good job there, mainstream media. People like me will be here to let you know exactly where you stand on all of it, how big a pile of shit you all are. Celebrities, lefties, all of them. This is some bullshit, and anyone with a brain can see that. But yeah, hopefully I at least enlighten some stuff with you on my soapbox, or going on a little bit there. But like, it's all dog shit. It's dog shit. Anyone with a brain can see that, but yet they keep pushing it. Like, I just don't understand how people are actually. That's like, it's unfathomable to me that people are actually that thick. I just can't believe it. I mean, I should believe it, but it's just, I don't know. But do me a favor, share it out no matter what platform you're on, so I get more eyes and ears on it. I get paid. Don't forget the audio. Sponsors love it when you listen to the audio. And if you ever want to start a podcast, Anchor lets you do it all for free, and lots of distribution. You have to do some on your own, but they do it for you. So if you can listen to the audio on everything, I appreciate it. Share it out to get more eyes and ears on it, and new people, new listeners, new people from new countries. The greatest things to see it growing. And I'm trying to do as good as I can. Again, facts, quotes from people, like, to go get directly against, like, here's what's happening in court, here's what they're saying. I just can't stand the level of stupid that they let them perpetuate all over the place. But hopefully you learned something. Be back, for the best of the rest, or the best of the pest, or whatever the hell you want to call it, because the week is not over, yet. The day is not over. The day is young. But I do appreciate y'all. Again, follow along, comment, tell me what you think, and share them out. It helps out immensely. We'll be back to the best of the pests. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be kind to each other, learn something. And until the best of the rest, peace.